All right. All right, everybody, and welcome back. It's been a while since I've made a video, but in this video, we're going to start kicking off one of my favorite series that I did called Daily Devops. So let's get into, where I've been, what I've been doing, and why I'm moving forward with this format. So to get the elephant out of the room, why Daily Devops? I think this is a fun format where I don't have to worry about cutting perfect content and making perfect tutorials for everybody. I can kind of just go impromptu on what I'm learning, what I'm building, and I can give some advice along the way. I've had a lot of good feedback from my previous daily DevOps videos with my home lab, and I think that's kind of the format that I want to move forward going with this. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So if you enjoy me seeing me, what I'm learning, what I'm tinkering, what I'm building, stick around and we can have fun with it. Ask questions. I'm more than happy to help. So with that said, where have I been? Well, I have two tiny young kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I find it really difficult to find the time to make long, detailed tutorials to be able to provide value to you. So I don't want to put out something that I'm not too proud of. Like if you look at my Packer course that I did about, I want to say 8 months ago, 6 months ago, I know Packer in and out. I love Packer. It's such a cool tool, but I'm not happy with the content that I produced there because I had to rush it due to time constraints, and I don't want to keep doing that. So I want to keep moving forward with this, engaging more of these DevOps blog, devlog type things. So on top of it, I started a new job. I'm a senior SRE at a new company. Things are great. Things are moving forward, and it's in a new tech stack that I'm not used to. I've worked in microservices within healthcare, and I'm used to running and supporting Java applications, but also at the same time on my end, having a more mature platform cloud engineering team with me. I'm used to only being able to do a lot of automation stuff and not being as close to the developers as I'd want to be. So with my new gig, I'm working closely with a small team. It's everything is in .NET. It's moving from a monolith to microservices. It's really cool stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it, which kind of prompted something for me earlier in the year. And what that is I decided to start a coding bootcamp. I've never made a coding bootcamp, I've never made any full stack applications before. I've made some scripts and some automation stuff for cloud engineering and DevOps, and I've never made anything from front to back. And since I've gotten pretty much thrown to the fire with .NET, I decided, well, I need to learn .NET. And if you've watched my last video about me trying to do Project Serverless and learn the whole JavaScript stack, I got so damn flustered and there was just so much to bring in that JavaScript ecosystem. I was aware of it, but man, just even getting started with React and learning enough JavaScript to understand React and then to get the server side, it'd be a year before I'd even be comfortable making an app. So I decided to take a step back and see what would be more value of my time. What would I get the most bang for my buck? I know Python really well. I write a lot of automation scripts in Python. I've even dabbled in quite a few Golang for whenever the project fits. But I missed that object-oriented, that full stack project, and I wanted to be more comfortable with the ecosystem I'm working in. So I started the Coder Foundry full stack .NET coding bootcamp. And if you want to take a quick look at it, let me switch this screen. All right, this is pretty much it. So I've done everything all the way up to, I've created some JavaScript projects on my own portfolio. So if you go to my name, you can see the portfolio that I made, kind of going along with this. And then also did some coding challenges. And this is where things I thought was pretty fun, and this is pretty cool. I've made some basic stuff with Bootstrap and moving things forward, and these actually are on their own sites, hosted serverless in AWS. So I'm trying to bring my skills and my expertise into building and hosting these apps. So if you actually look at these, I know it's simple. It's let's make a JavaScript program that displays all numbers from 0 to 100. So if you actually go to the code, you'll see this is Python code. I was like, well, I know JavaScript. I did it with JavaScript, but I really like Python as a cloud engineer. And so I actually hooked this up to API Gateway and Lambda. So if you actually go to the app and hit display throttle, boom, this is all generated from Lambda. So I'm kind of bringing both worlds together, and I kind of hit a crossroads. I know Python enough, but I want to continue to help the ecosystem that I'm in. So I decided to go all the way with this Coder Foundry Bootcamp. And if you look at where I'm at now, I've went through all this stuff. Now we're starting to get into .NET 5 and .NET 6 NVC ecosystem. And that's kind of where that's my work's at. Everything's in .NET 5. We're migrating some things from .NET 3. We have some things in .NET 6. So we're looking at things as minimal APIs. Things are some MVC stuff. So for me to fully understand what's going on, and I like to get out of my comfort zone. I mean, I have enough stuff to learn as it is as a cloud engineer, but I wanted to get back into just doing something completely different. And I decided to move forward with Coder Foundry. And if you're looking to code, check out Coder Foundry. I'm telling you right now, they do it right. They actually produce real projects at the end of this, rather than a Pokemon app or something stupid like that. If you made a Pokemon app, you're not dumb, but it's not a business case app. And at the end of this, you build something like Jira, which is a bug tracker, which is a business case app. So that's pretty cool. I want to go through that process. I want that experience. And just that way I can say, you know what, I do have a little bit of coding chops. So that's part one. Part two of what else I want to do is I still have to keep learning on my end. I can't just throw my whole life to the side and code when I'm completely engulfed in infrastructure. I do everything from, managing our infrastructure. We got Terraform, Packer, AWS. I do everything from setting up our monitoring stacks, alerting. I am the cloud guy at my company. I am the SRE. I am the main dude. So I got to keep my skills sharp there. And my favorite way to do that is, even though I'm an AWS guy, is a home lab. I've learned so much from my home lab. That's how I got good at Kubernetes, is setting up my home lab. I've also neglected my home lab for about a year now. I've tried to spin it up off and on. I created my own HashiCorp stack with Nomad, Console, and Vault, and it kind of just let it fall to the side. And then I seen a good guy named Techno Tim started the 100 Days of Home Lab. I actually started on that and made it about 5 days before I had to go camping and went away for a week, and haven't touched it since. So just like every other engineer, I have a lot of unfinished projects. So I want to balance my time, instead of having to worry about editing and planning videos, is I want to bring you along the ride as I build out my home lab, which is also set up as a VPN into my AWS infrastructure. So I'm going to do some crazy shit, like I'm going to have my Lambdas. I'm going to have a giant Lambda stack, which is in step functions, to run event organized things against my home lab, be it taking database backups from my MySQL MariaDB containers and pushing the buckets and versioning them and just doing stuff like that. I want a hybrid cloud, because why? It's my home lab and I'll do what I want with it. So if you want to say cloud isn't home lab, whatever, it's mine and I love it. So as I restarted, I've only got a few things here. I have a few K3S nodes because there's no reason for me to set up kubeadm. These nodes are only 4 cores, 8 threads. 2 of them are 32 gigabytes and 2 of them are 16 gigabytes. And then each has a 512 gigabyte SSD. And then they're also backed up with my Synology so I can move the nodes around. So I got a nice little home lab going, but I want to be able to do all these things together and bring it forward. And I want to bring you along the ride as I learn, so that I can give you some tips. And honestly, that's really it. And I plan on trying to making a video like this once a day or every other day, because when I find time, an hour or two, I like to learn things and I'd like to talk about it. So that's all I'm going to say. My meaningless rambling is done. If you liked this video and you want to continue on for this ride, please hit the subscribe button. Check out for my new videos, because this is fun. The last time I did Devops Daily is what I called it. I got a lot of feedback right away. 2,000 views when I was just starting out, and I have a lot of comments. Those videos today are still getting a lot of views and comments, and I honestly prefer that format better for now. So thank you for sticking around. And like I said, if you enjoyed it, click like, click subscribe. If not, click the thumbs down button. I really don't care. It was a good time doing this video. I'll see y'all again soon. Take it easy.